Welcome to our in-depth technical analysis of Cisco Systems, ticker symbol CSCO, traded on the NASDAQ. In this video, we'll break down the latest trends, indicators, and price movements over the past 3 months, covering 64 trading days. Whether you're a seasoned investor or just curious about how CSCO has been performing, this report will provide a comprehensive look at the numbers and what they might mean for the future. Let's start by setting the stage with the current price and a quick overview of the recent market environment before diving into the technical details. As of December 21, 2025, CSCO is trading at $78.42. This price reflects a strong performance in recent weeks, especially when compared to its 52-week low of $52.11 and a high of $80.81. The current price positions CSCO near the upper end of its yearly range, suggesting bullish momentum. This context is important as we analyze the technical indicators and see how they align with the stock's recent trajectory. Let's now explore the moving averages to understand the underlying trends. Short-term moving averages, such as the 5-day and 10-day SMAs and EMAs, are useful for capturing recent price action. For CSCO, the SMA 5 sits at 77.43, while the EMA 5 is slightly higher at 77.67. The 10-day averages are also close, with SMA 10 at 78.29 and EMA 10 at 77.75. These values indicate that the stock has been trading above its short-term averages, a sign of upward momentum. This alignment often attracts short-term traders looking for quick gains. Let's see how the medium-term averages compare. Looking at the 20-day to 50-day moving averages, we see a steady progression. The SMA 20 is at 77.55, and the EMA 20 is at 77.28, while the SMA 50 stands at 74.42 and EMA 50 at 74.96. This gradual increase in averages as the period lengthens suggests a sustained upward trend over the past 2 months. The price staying above these averages is generally interpreted as a bullish signal, reinforcing the positive sentiment seen in the short-term data. Now, let's examine the long-term moving averages for a broader perspective. For a wider view, we turn to the 100-day, 150-day, and 200-day moving averages. The SMA 100 is at 71.31, SMA 150 at 69.72, and SMA 200 at 67.08. All these averages are well below the current price, highlighting a strong long-term uptrend. When the current price is significantly above these long-term averages, it often signals robust investor confidence and can act as a support level in case of pullbacks. Next, let's look at the Bollinger Bands to assess volatility and potential price targets. Bollinger Bands help us visualize volatility and potential price ranges. For CSCO, the upper band is at 80.03, the middle at 77.55, and the lower at 75.07. The current price is close to the upper band, indicating that the stock is trading near the higher end of its recent range. The band width is 0.064, suggesting moderate volatility. This setup can sometimes precede a breakout or a short-term pullback, depending on market sentiment. Let's now move on to momentum indicators to see if the trend is likely to continue. Momentum indicators provide insight into the strength and speed of price movements. CSCO's MACD is 0.892 with a signal line at 1.22 and a histogram of -0.324. The negative histogram and momentum values suggest a slight loss of upward momentum, even as the price remains strong. RSI 14 is at 57.19, indicating a neutral to slightly bullish stance, while the stock RSIK is high at 91.32, hinting at possible overbought conditions. These mixed signals warrant caution for short-term traders. Next, let's explore the Relative Strength Index in more detail. Relative Strength Index, or RSI, is a popular tool for identifying overbought or oversold conditions. With RSI 14 at 57.19 and RSI 21 at 58.05, CSCO is comfortably in the neutral zone but edging towards the higher side. The stock RSIK at 91.32, however, is much higher, suggesting the stock could be overbought in the very short term. This combination means that while the overall trend remains positive, there could be a pause or minor correction ahead. Let's now look at the average true range to gauge volatility. Volatility is a key factor in trading decisions. The average true range, ATR 14 for CSCO, is 1.68, while the NATR 14 is 2.14. These values indicate moderate volatility, which is typical for a large-cap stock like Cisco. True volatility is also at 2.14, and the volatility breakout stands at 1.42. These numbers suggest that while price swings are present, they are not extreme, allowing for more predictable trading patterns. Next, let's examine volume trends to see how trading activity has evolved. Volume is a crucial indicator of market interest. CSCO's on-balance volume, OBV, is nearly 982 million, reflecting strong participation. The Money Flow Index, MFI 14, is at 68.93, which is close to the overbought threshold, indicating that buying pressure has been high. The volume ratio 20 is 4.04, and the relative volume is 3.92, both suggesting that recent trading activity has been above average. High volume often confirms price trends, so this supports the bullish case. Let's now look at trend strength and direction. To assess the strength and direction of the trend, we look at the ADX 14, which is 27.06, indicating a moderately strong trend. The Arun up is at 72 while Arun down is at 20, resulting in a positive Arun oscillator of 35.71. This suggests that the uptrend is dominant but not overwhelmingly so. The trend strength score is 1.09 and the trend quality index is 109.71, both supporting the idea of a healthy, sustainable trend. Next, let's discuss support and resistance levels. Support and resistance levels help traders identify potential entry and exit points. For CSCO, the nearest support is at $77.08, while resistance is at $79.47. The pivot point, a key reference, is at $78.12. With the current price just above the pivot and close to resistance, the stock may face some selling pressure if it approaches $79.47. However, holding above support at $77.08 would be a positive sign. Let's now review the price acceleration and momentum scores. Price acceleration measures the rate of change in price movement. For CSCO, the price acceleration is -0.23, indicating a slight deceleration. The momentum score is 48.8, which is neutral. These figures suggest that while the stock has been trending upward, the pace may be slowing, and traders should watch for signs of consolidation or reversal. Let's now take a closer look at the MACD and its implications for future price action. MACD, or Moving Average Convergence Divergence, is a popular momentum indicator. CSCO's MACD is 0.892 with a signal line at 1.22 and a histogram of -0.324. The negative histogram suggests that bullish momentum is waning, even though the MACD remains positive. This could mean the stock is entering a consolidation phase. Traders often look for a crossover of the MACD and signal line as a potential buy or sell signal. Next, let's discuss the implications of the stochastic oscillator readings. Stochastic oscillator helps identify overbought and oversold conditions. For CSCO, stock K14 is 28.53, and stock D14 is 28.69, both in the lower range, suggesting the stock is not overbought. However, the stock RSIK is very high at 91.32, indicating short-term overbought conditions. This mixed picture means that while the broader trend is healthy, there could be some short-term volatility or a minor pullback. Let's now look at the rate of change ROC and its significance. Rate of change ROC measures the percentage change in price over a set period. CSCO's ROC14 is 3.13, and ROCP14 is 0.031, both indicating positive momentum. The ROCR14 is 1.03, further confirming the upward trend. These values suggest that CSCO has experienced steady gains over the past 2 weeks. Let's now examine the average directional index, ADX, for additional trend confirmation. ADX is a key indicator for trend strength. With an ADX14 of 27.06, CSCO is showing a moderately strong trend. The plus DI14 is 23.74 and the minus DI14 is 15.88, indicating that the positive trend is stronger than the negative. This supports the bullish case, but the ADX is not high enough to suggest an extremely strong trend, so some caution is warranted. Let's now move to the Chaikin oscillator and its implications for volume and accumulation. Chaikin oscillator combines price and volume to measure accumulation and distribution. For CSCO, the Chaikin oscillator is negative at -5,062,904.29, suggesting some distribution or selling pressure despite the overall uptrend. This divergence between price and volume can sometimes precede a reversal, so it's important to monitor closely. Let's now look at the Money Flow Index, MFI, for further confirmation. Money Flow Index, MFI, is at 68.93, which is close to the overbought threshold of 70. This suggests that while buying pressure has been strong, the stock could be nearing a short-term peak. High MFI values often precede a pause or minor correction, especially when combined with other overbought signals. Let's now review the historical price action over the last 3 months for additional context. Over the past 3 months, CSCO's price has steadily climbed from around $67 to over $78. Notable surges occurred in late November and early December, with the stock reaching its 52-week high of $80.81 on December 11. Volume spikes accompanied these moves, confirming strong market interest. Pullbacks were generally short-lived, with the stock quickly recovering and continuing its upward trajectory. Let's now analyze the volume patterns during these key periods. During major price advances, such as in early December, trading volume surged, peaking at over 84 million shares on December 19. These volume spikes often coincided with price breakouts, reinforcing the strength of the moves. Conversely, during periods of consolidation or minor pullbacks, volume tended to decrease, suggesting that selling pressure was limited. This pattern is typical of healthy uptrends where buyers remain in control. Let's now examine the risk-reward profile for CSCO. Risk-reward ratio for CSCO is 0.778, indicating that the potential reward slightly outweighs the risk. This is a favorable setup for traders, especially when combined with the strong technical indicators we've discussed. However, with the stock near its resistance level and some overbought signals flashing, it's important to manage risk carefully. Let's now look at the linear regression analysis for further confirmation of the trend. Linear regression helps us identify the underlying trend by fitting a straight line through the price data. For CSCO, the slope is positive at 0.203, and the R-squared value is high at 0.884, indicating a strong fit. The predicted price is $79.50, slightly above the current price, while the deviation is -1.08. This analysis supports the view that the uptrend remains intact, but the pace may be slow. Let's now discuss the implications of the 52-week high and low. CSCO's 52-week high is $80.81, and the low is $52.11. The current price is near the top of this range, with a 52-week position of 91.66%. Its proximity to the high suggests strong investor confidence and momentum. However, stocks near their highs can sometimes face resistance as traders take profits. It's important to watch for signs of exhaustion or reversal at these levels. Let's now look at the technical score and what it tells us about overall market sentiment. Technical score for CSCO is 58.01, which is moderately bullish. This score aggregates various indicators including trend, momentum, and volume to provide an overall snapshot of market sentiment. Combined with the trend quality index of 109.71, the data suggests that the stock is in a healthy uptrend, but not without risks. Let's now discuss the implications for different types of traders and investors. Short-term traders, the current technical setup offers both opportunities and risks. The stock is near resistance and showing some overbought signals, so quick profits may be possible, but caution is needed. Tight stop losses and careful position sizing are recommended. Watching for a breakout above resistance or a pullback to support can help traders make informed decisions. Let's now consider the outlook for long-term investors. Long-term investors may find CSCO's technical picture encouraging. The stock is well above its long-term moving averages, and the overall trend is positive. However, with the price near its 52-week high, some volatility is possible. Investors should consider scaling in positions gradually and monitoring key support levels. The strong volume and trend indicators suggest that the long-term outlook remains favorable. Let's now summarize the key takeaways from this analysis. Sum up: CSCO has shown strong performance over the past 3 months, with steady gains and healthy volume. Most technical indicators point to a bullish trend, though some short-term signals suggest caution. The stock is near resistance and its 52-week high, so a breakout or minor pullback could occur. Both short-term traders and long-term investors should stay alert to changes in momentum and volume. Let's now look at some practical tips for applying this analysis. In trading CSCO, it's important to use a combination of technical indicators and risk management strategies. Set clear entry and exit points based on support and resistance, and use stop-loss orders to protect against sudden reversals. Monitor volume and momentum for confirmation of price moves. Diversifying your portfolio and staying updated on market news can also help manage risk. Let's conclude with a final outlook for CSCO based on the current technical landscape. Conclusion: CSCO's technical analysis over the past 3 months paints a picture of strength and resilience. The stock is trending upward, supported by strong volume and positive momentum. While some short-term caution is warranted due to overbought signals and proximity to resistance, the long-term outlook remains favorable. By combining technical insights with sound risk management, traders and investors can navigate the current market environment with greater confidence. Thank you for joining this deep dive into CSCO's technicals.